Good evening, Southeast Texas. Welcome to 12 News at 6. I'm Dominique Lay. We're starting off with a tragic news tonight. A teen is dead after a crash in Port Arthur. Last night at nearly 11, officers responded to the 3700 block of Memorial after reports of a vehicle hitting a tree. Officials say the car was traveling at high speeds south on Memorial Boulevard when it left the road, striking a tree, leaving the car extensively damaged. The driver, 17-year-old Adrian Castellanos, was pronounced dead by Judge Gillum from his injuries. The Advanced Accident Investigation Team responded to the scene to assist with the investigation. We're seeing a little bit of rain here and there. Christiana Ramos is on our Storm Tracker Center right now with a look at your forecast.
Well, we did get some rain. It's like I said earlier, it was going to weaken as it hits the coast. It barely even got to Sabine Pass. There's some light showers there. We had some thunder here in Beaumont and some lightning out there, but now it looks like the rest of the evening is going to be pretty quiet. It mostly was up towards the lakes area. They got the worst of it, about 2 inches of rainfall up there. We got about 1/10 of an inch here on Beaumont according to this model, and then about 1.5 inches near Hardin County and in Orange. And for those low temperatures tonight, it's going to be a bit cooler, still pretty humid out there in the middle and lower 70s. And for that rainfall forecast, well, get ready for another round of showers as we head into tomorrow because of another disturbance that's supposed to sweep through the area. That's going to carry through into Monday before we start to dry out. We'll have more in your forecast next.
President Biden has authorized the deployment of around 5,000 U.S. troops to secure an orderly and safe drawdown of U.S. personnel in Afghanistan. In a statement released today, the president says this decision comes after consulting with top diplomatic, military, and intelligence teams. In the statement, President Biden is defending the withdrawal from Afghanistan, even as Taliban continues to gain more ground in the country. A third shot of either the Pfizer or Moderna vaccine has now been authorized for patients that are immunocompromised. This comes as cases of COVID-19 continue to surge across the country and hospitals are feeling the strain. Meanwhile, as children return to school, the debate over masks continues. Here's ABC's Zorin Shah with details.
Amid the growing concern over breakthrough infections as the Delta variant spreads across the country, the CDC is recommending a third dose of either the Pfizer or Moderna vaccine for a small group of immunocompromised Americans to help them better fight the virus.
The ACIP is continuing to discuss and deliberate the emerging issues with regard to duration of immunity as different variants emerge.
CVS and Walgreens now ready to begin administering these third shots with proof. But boosters are not yet recommended for the general population.
As soon as we find out that we will need to have to booster people, we're going to be ready to do it right away.
The CDC's decision comes as hospitals are struggling to keep up with the growing number of patients. Louisiana seeing its highest number of hospitalizations since the beginning of the pandemic.
We're in a bad place, and that's why we have to slow transmission and increase vaccinations.
A similar situation in Texas.
Wake up, get a clue. It is not like the flu. It is devastating our healthcare system.
Alabama's Governor Kay Ivey has issued a limited state of emergency to help support frontline workers.
It's very frustrating. Many of us feel, myself included, that this didn't have to happen with the vaccine available. And so that makes it hard.
In Mississippi, officials say a majority of those hospitalized are unvaccinated.
We've lost 4 healthy people in their 20s, 2 of whom were pregnant, 0 vaccinated.
Meanwhile, as children return to school, the debate over masks rages on.
Parents should have the right to govern their own children.
I'd much rather my child breathe through a mask than through a ventilator.
Despite bans on mask mandates by the governors of Florida and Texas, several school districts are defying those orders, requiring masks for students and teachers. Zorin Shah, ABC News, Los Angeles.
And yesterday in San Antonio, the 4th Court of Appeals threw out Abbott's appeal to end the order. The 5th Court of Appeals in Dallas did the same for mandating masks in public schools, universities, and businesses. Experts say this fight is headed to the state Supreme Court. Attorney General Ken Paxton vows to fight mask mandates all across Texas. Many kids are heading back to school, but there's still a lot of uncertainty to the recent surge of COVID-19. Someone asked our Verify team if kids could get a COVID-19 shot without their parents' permission. Cheryl Mercedes verifies.
Going back to school this fall comes with some added tasks to tackle onto the typical supply list. Masks, sanitizers, wipes, and for some, the COVID-19 vaccine. Right now, children 12 years and older are eligible for the Pfizer vaccine. Some parents have taken to social media saying they don't want their kids to get the shot. But is it up to them? Bernard asked the Verify team, is it true that minors between 12 and 17 years do not need parental consent to get the COVID vaccine? We have two sources for this, the CDC and the Texas Department of State Health Services. To date, at least 41 states require parental consent for minors under the age of 18 to get the COVID-19 vaccine. Texas is one of them. The DSHS tells the Verify team parental consent is required for the vaccination of children in this age group. Consent may be given verbally or in writing. The parent or guardian does not need to be present for the adolescent to be vaccinated unless required by the vaccine provider. So whether or not minors need parental consent to get the COVID-19 vaccine depends on where you live. But in Texas, you do need parents' permission.
Some cities and states are moving to allow minors to get the vaccine without parental consent. Two of them include San Francisco, California, and Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. With your Verify, I'm Cheryl Mercedes.
New developments in the Lone Star Showdown. In the latest with the showdown, a quorum was not met in the Texas House again on Saturday, so lawmakers adjourned until 4 p.m. on Monday. The second special session of the legislature began last week, but nothing has been accomplished since Democrats continue to break quorum. The Democrats are protesting voting restrictions, including a controversial GOP elections bill. Texas is now set to spend $25 million on a 2-mile concrete barrier. As Governor Abbott continues his push for a state-funded border wall, Texas Tribune reports that this will be in Eagle Pass, along with a temporary fence at State Loop 480. The Department of Public Safety says this is a high-traffic area for illegal migration. This money comes from the Transportation Department's Maintenance Division and is set to be finished in December. And in other Texas news, Governor Abbott's executive order prohibiting the transport of migrants throughout the state remains on hold. Yesterday, a judge extended temporary restraining order for 2 weeks that keeps state troopers from stopping vehicles believed to be transporting migrants.